I'm here with Andy Barrow, who will be doing one of our upcoming Bridge Talks. And firstly, I'd like to welcome Andy.
Hi, great to be here.
Excellent. Tell me a little bit more about your story.
So I am now an inspirational speaker, and I also speak on themes of performance and diverse teams. And that probably comes out of things that happened to me earlier on in my life. So growing up, I loved sport, and rugby was my favourite sport in particular, so my story is quite rugby-centric. Unfortunately, at the age of 17, I sustained a spinal cord injury during a game of rugby, which led to me being paralysed from the chest down and needing to use a wheelchair for the rest of my life. I quickly realised the importance of staying physically fit and rediscovered all these other sports that I'd known nothing about previously, and one in particular, wheelchair rugby. So I began playing that. One thing led to another. I started playing for fun and enjoyment, as we all do. And then I got good at the game, and I was selected for my country, and the sport basically took me around the world. So I gained an awful lot of experience working in elite teams, being the captain of an elite team. And then post-retirement, I began a career in a business as a speaker and a trainer, being able to sort of basically re-explain those lessons I had learned that had made me successful, within elite sport, but even thinking further back, and those skills that I'd kind of been furnished with during my sort of rehabilitation to overcome adversity, and how useful that those skills and traits are when you transfer them into a business environment or an academic environment.
Well, if you're looking at it from a business context, taking all of that learning that you've had over this time, what would be one of the things that you would recommend to business leaders on how to get more resilience in both themselves and in their organizations?
I think if you're going to talk about resilience, you need to start around knowing yourself more and knowing your team more. Yeah. So for me, it was all about doing more training, particularly in businesses. It's a trait I spot in business all the time, that they don't invest enough time in themselves or in their teams in terms of training. They're just constantly chasing results. And the first thing you learn in elite sport is that we gauge performance rather than result. Result is simply a byproduct of performance, and in order to become better or perform better, you need to train and work hard. And obviously your resilience is a cornerstone of that, how you cope with setbacks. So I guess one of the biggest things that businesses can do is actually embrace and learn from failures, rather than resorting to blame culture and sweeping mistakes under the carpet. It's this is something to learn from, and if you don't learn from it, then you're going to be in quite a fragile state as an organisation.
Now, I know you talk a lot about living in the now.
Absolutely.
Tell me a little bit more about that. What does that mean to you?
For me, I know a lot of people do say it as a bit of a cliche, but really the reality of it is that the fact that what's going on right in front of your eyes at this very moment is the only thing you have direct control over. And people spend too much time worrying about things they can't control, like the weather. We love that as Brits.
Oh, yes, of course,
and B, lamenting over past mistakes, which again, we can't do a thing about. Or they look too far forward and they're worrying, if I do this, what would happen? All of that is taking their kind of eye off of what's going on right in front of them, decreasing their bandwidth, if you like.
Sure.
So if we actually spend more time being present and focusing on what we're doing right in front of our eyes, we are actually going to be far more effective at what we're doing, and the future will be taken care of.
Great. So what motivates you to go forward into this future?
Do you know what motivates me? Probably a lot, if not all of my motivation comes from perspective. Perspective in the world is quite simple for me. You look around and you kind of you rate yourself, if you will. You think, where am I? Between number one in the world and 7 billion. I tell you now, 7 billion's gone now. They're just shuffled off the mortal coil. So we're doing better than somebody today. So I think it's about being thankful for the position you're in and understanding and focusing on what you have rather than what you don't, and what you can do rather than what you can't. And then obviously you can take some of those can'ts, and if you apply action to that, then you can change things and you can become better. And it's that idea of small incremental improvement.
Yeah, excellent. Well, I have to say, I'm really looking forward to your talk. I know it's been a pleasure meeting you and discussing all of these subjects with you. So I can't wait to the Bridge Talks.
Can't wait to see you. Can't wait to see everyone else. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you.